Hello YouTube, it's Wednesday, November the 9th, and I'm on IntelliCast. There's some bad weather going on, and I just wanted to record the fact that there are perhaps two scalar squares here to the right of Houston, Texas. So I'll zoom in on that. You see here, we have one straight line there, which seems to be cutting through a ring, and we have another square here. Doesn't seem to be on the same line. Perhaps there are two squares there. So I'll come in again a bit closer. And it looks like there's another one again here. Perhaps 3 or 4. So one here, that's the corner you can see, over Beaumont. Gets a bit bigger. And it looks like there's another one here. And this looks like a second one as well. So that would be 1, 2, and 3. And up here we have a straight line as well, so probably it's off to the left, that square, so that would be 4. So I suppose this ring is coming out from Houston. Looks like there's another ring as well. There's another square up there by Dallas. Here we are, straight line here. And it seems to come at the same time as a straight line here, so it looks like there's one huge square here over Shreveport. Yes, you see? Absolutely gigantic. Unless it's two squares, two smaller ones. But anyway, they're coming up at the same time. So this bodes ill for the weather in the next 2 days. About 48 hours over this area. Quite a complex series of phenomena. Got more beams down here. So I've moved over to Wonder Map. Here's Houston, Dallas, Shreveport. You can see the big ring here. Now as it's in the middle of the night, here this is a bit behind IntelliCast, I think. It's 3:44 AM CST. You can see there's a big ring coming out from a Doppler here in Houston somewhere. Must be this one, there's perhaps 2 of them. And here this one is coming from Lake Charles, I think, and I can't see anything going on in the way of squares, but you can see that there is a Doppler at Shreveport. So the Doppler is not at Houston, it's at League City. So here we have it. It's on Gill Road, or Gill Road. So you see we could zoom in on Lake Charles, we'd get the same result. There is a Doppler at the centre of this sprinkling kind of effect, and it goes all the way out. It's producing this huge ring. So this is an overall view of the weather system all the way up to Marquette, with the colder weather here over Iowa. This is a few hours later. The loop finishes at 8:45 AM EST, and you can see now that there is this scalar square here, and there seems to be another one here. See, there's an edge there. So I'll get a bit closer. There's an edge there. Two edges, one corner. There's a corner there. So there is another one coming down here, and another one going out there. It looks like a cross almost, except that one side is shorter than the other side. So back on IntelliCast a little while later. This is the system with lots of strong cells, and we'll have a zoom in on Houston where there are still scalar squares over the bay. See, there are two intersected here, at least two. So the squares seem to be moving. Can't see the squares anymore at Dallas and Shreveport. So I've come back half an hour later, and it's very interesting. We have a series of squares. So here, and then here, and then again here, and then it looks like another one here. So it's a bit like Russian dolls, except that it's perhaps not from Russia. These are not Russian scalar squares. These are homemade, perhaps, in the States. I'm filming this in France, so I'm feeling completely detached about the whole thing, of course. I have one, and then another one, and then another one, and there may be one. So these are like Russian dolls, except that they're American dolls. I mean, American scalar squares. Coming out from the Doppler at Liege, probably. Unless they're being projected from Russia over the Doppler at Liege by some system. Anyway, I'm in France, so I have nothing to do with Russia or the United States. I'm just observing. So there seems to be a system of several squares, which in fact indicate mirrors, probably, set up at different heights, overlaying each other or intersecting, I'm not sure. This is all explained in a Haarp patent. I'll give you the link below. So here we are on College of DuPage, same region. Houston is here. It just shows the rings, it doesn't show the squares. Now, what is interesting is that there are lines coming from the left. When you go on to the visibles, I'm on this one here. There's some kind of interference coming in. Are they grid lines coming from woodpecker in Russia or goodness knows what? So I've moved eastward to check out on these interference lines. Have they got something to do with the grid coming from the Russia? Something to do with the giant radials that Tom Bearden talks about? I'll give you a link to his conference. Now, a while ago, on the 4th of August 2011 to be precise, I was on College of DuPage on the visible satellite section, looking at fumes coming out of Bachelor Mountain near Bend in Oregon, because Dutch Synths had sent us over there. And I got these huge lines of interference. So these are screenshots. I didn't have Cam Studio at the time. I wasn't very good at making videos. I'm still only a learner. Anyway, you can see these bands of interference. Sometimes they were just very thin lines. And then I checked it out on Intellicast, where there were these long bands across the Pacific. Now this was at exactly the same time as the interference on College of DuPage. These lines made me think of washing lines ready for someone to hang their washing out to dry. Anyway, they're definitely between Russia and the United States. So are they putting up some kind of a grid? Sometimes the sea was very blurred. Is this the reason why Intellicast has now blackened out the sea? So we can't see the interference? What alarmed me was that I then stumbled on Tom Bearden's conferences on weather modification by scalar waves. And he talks about giant radials, which are these very long clouds which are activated by electromagnetic frequencies. They establish a grid all over the states. So if you go onto Tom Bearden's website, you will see the explanation of the formation of a single giant radial. Now the clouds are often a round circle, and then these giant radials in the clouds, 10 to 20 miles long. So I invite you to visit this website and also to listen to the conference, which is in about 10 parts on YouTube. Very interesting. And we also have a ring around Kansas City, and it looked like a straight line going down as well. I don't know if it's straight or curved. Doesn't exactly look straight. Have a nice day, folks.